Hello and welcome back, episode 125. We are back. It is reporting live from a very chilly Cape Town, South Africa. Joined by a very capable team. I'm your host, Jason. I've got AF. How's it going, my friend?
Chilly, man. Doing good, but chilly. But yeah, can't complain. And yeah, looking forward to getting into this amazing segment that we got planned tonight.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. And we welcome back the 20-time Premier League champ, Nikita Koopman. How's it going?
It does
Been a
sound
while.
very good, Jason. I'm all the better for you saying that. Thank you very much.
It's the
Feeling
last
much
compliment
warmer now.
I'm giving you today, so soak it in. Got a month load of things saved here. Happy to have you back. How's things been?
Thanks,
How's
mate.
this off-season been for you?
Really, really good until obviously some tragic events last week, but otherwise really good. Been watching a lot of tennis, which is always nice during football off-season. So yeah, other than that, really well. Thanks, man.
Been very exciting from a non-soccer perspective. The tennis has been exceptionally lively. I don't claim to be a big tennis fan, but I even found myself tuning in, so it's been legit. It's been legit.
Tennis has been good. Cricket has been good. If you're a South African supporter as well, first time we're officially getting that ICC trophy monkey off our back, even though we won the Test most a couple of times in my lifetime already.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a really, really good off season as a South African sports fan and the last few weeks.
No, 100%. Just morning to Mohammed Bray from wherever you could be watching us. I'm not sure what the time zone is, but thanks for tuning in. Let your boss know you're just a bit sick. Yeah, episode 125. We've got a bit of a jam-packed one today. As we all know, it's off-season, so we're going to be chatting a bit about Club World Cup. Unfortunately, Chelsea through to another final. As an Arsenal fan, this hurts to say, but we'll be discussing the semi that has been and the semi that is to come. We'll be talking a bit of transfers as it is silly season. We'll be touching on a few transfers, a few moves that could be happening, things to keep your eye out for. We've also got a bit of a fun segment at the end where we create our ultimate player and we're just going to discuss which era or possibly which team that would be suited in. Spoiler, I'm going to say mine needs to sign for Arsenal. The skill set that I have together covers all of the bases. But yeah, before we get into all of that, Nikita had mentioned briefly in the intro that things were going good until it was not. We are sending condolences, obviously, to the Jota family. Very, very tragic news to be woken up to, depending on which part of the world you're in. But just to find out, that we've lost both Diego Jota and Andre Jota in what seemed to be a very horrific car accident. Unfortunately, as the Liverpool fan, not unfortunately, fortunately, we get a Liverpool perspective. Can you talk us through just, how it came about for you to find out about that and just like your initial thoughts, if you are comfortable with that?
Yeah. So I saw a message on a fantasy league group chat that I have, and there's normally a lot of crap that gets posted on there. So the first thing I said was bollocks, that cannot be true. Went on to Sky Sports online and saw the news, and I must say I was very happy that I was working from home on Thursday because it was quite an emotional day. And I think the challenge for me, at least, the last few days has been rationalizing that I'm obviously grieving for someone who doesn't know me from a bar of soap. But also the fact that, we've lost this incredible player and what seemingly is an incredible human being. So it has been really challenging. And speaking to other Liverpool fans, both, in person and online, etc., I think a lot of us are going through the same thing. It's unfathomable what's happened almost to us, because especially in Diogo Jota's case, he was always this guy that got injured and then he came back, and I was saying to a friend of mine the other day, like, in normal life, I don't know, anyone in their 20s, in their 30s, or in their
Yeah.
teens that, gets injured at the level that these players get injured, tear meniscuses, pull calves, whatever, and then come back and operate at the level like that. And
Yeah.
these guys, we watch them twice a week, every week, and they do this week in, week out, and we almost kind of like immortalize them. And I think that's why it's kind of hit us also hard. Over and above the fact that he was seemingly a lovely guy, almost in his prime, I would say, having just won 2 trophies in the last few weeks, having gotten married, and obviously having young children, makes it exceptionally tragic. And yeah, if I'm perfectly honest with you, I know we have a scheduled preseason game this week. I'm certainly not ready for football to come back. I
Mm.
I don't feel the same about football as what I did last week. So yeah, definitely has changed my perspective quite a bit personally and from a footballing perspective. So yeah, and then again, that's just me. I'm not speaking on behalf of all Liverpool supporters, but yeah, it's been definitely very tragic, and we obviously send our condolences to his family, and his close friends who are obviously going through it a lot worse than what we could possibly imagine. Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like Jason, just before, like
No, go for it. Go for it. Give us your thoughts, man.
like I think everything that Nikita just said, like Jota didn't, he played for Liverpool, but it's so crazy how every club's supporters and fan base has like taken
Yeah,
to it the exact same way.
absolutely.
Like none of
Yeah.
us knew the guy, none of us, like, he didn't pay for our club or anything like that. But it's
Yeah.
just like it hit a bit deeper than what we thought it would have. And I mean, that's a testament to the type of person that he was, the type of player that he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
He was a very likable guy. So yeah, definitely condolences to his family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a. I mean, you see that football unites, and you saw in the aftermath of it all the celebrations in tribute to him, and it just shows the kind of impact that this incident has had on sport. I think at tennis as well, they were doing a few tributes where they were actually allowing some of the players to break away from the tradition of the
Yep.
particular uniform and outfits that they'd wear, and they could actually show love to that. So that was amazing. Yeah, I think I have to echo what you're saying. It seems weird because you really there's no chance that he would have known us, but he's obviously had an impact on all of our lives. And me as an Arsenal fan, I mean, I'd hate it to happen to anybody. I used to hate seeing that guy come against Arsenal because he always had something for us. But I will take all of that back, and I'll take
You
the
did.
2 goals or 3 goals that he had per game almost, or per season versus Arsenal, and I'll take it. And he can have that, and just to have him playing again. So it's really, yeah, it kind of puts things in perspective, especially with the month, like you said, that he had to league, Nations League, married to his child sweetheart. Yeah, it's a ridiculous month that he had firstly, and then to have it like that, I think words are evading me right now. But again, all of the support from us, as much as I don't know if they'll see this, I think it's just positive vibes into the universe for, I mean, both the family, but also just for the club and for the league as well. Kind of, it's definitely going to
Yeah,
shake up how things are seen. There's things that are bigger than the football as well. So
for sure.
yeah, I suppose being mindful of that puts things into perspective. So
Yeah.
yeah, sorry for starting on a note like that to all the people in the
No,
chat, but
no,
we have to honor the man that was Diego and Andre Jota as well. Not forgetting his
Yeah.
brother that also played. There's a full team that is gonna miss him as well. So yeah, a very weird time for football, but
mm,
life is a very weird thing that we're involved in. Yeah. So yeah, we'll move on a bit slowly, and I'm gonna move to the Club World Cup. I don't know. I mean, Nikita's
Before,
very she hasn't
so,
watched. Okay, talk to me. If what do you have for us?
sorry, Jason. I'm just gonna do something that, like, see, I did last week, and maybe we can try to do that every week.
Okay,
Everybody in the chat, we have about 16 people here in the chat, showing at the moment. So yeah, like, go to one of your WhatsApp groups or something, or just take the link to this video, to this live, send it around. If you send it to at
shameless
least one person,
plugging it. I
we'll
love
be
it.
happy. So it's a small little favor from us, just to like spread this link a bit far and wide, and we'll appreciate that.
Back to our regular programming. Thank you, AF. That is our version of an ad break, sponsored by HQ. We were going to talk about Club World Cup, but I actually just want to, while we're talking about things that relate to football as well, we want to talk about Lyon. So, AF, you've got some news for us in that they had won the appeal and they're not getting relegated.
Oh,
yeah. So,
but there's also a different caveat that you want to bring into the discussion. So let's maybe talk about that quickly.
Yeah, so they somehow won this appeal, and see, I had mentioned earlier that like PSG gave them some money from the Barcola deal, so that sort of like helped them out a bit as well. But there was some extra evidence that came to the front like last week, I think, where they found out that John Texter, the owner of Lyon and of Botafogo, he was funneling money through Lyon or allegedly funding money through Lyon to buy players for Botafogo. So I think there's like 91 million euros that he used, and those players never ever wore Lyon jersey. They play for Botafogo
I saw
now.
that.
Yeah, the fact that they can do that and then still get away with all of this, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird if I'm like Nikita, from a financial perspective. What are your thoughts on this?
So I mean, I don't know if you heard me when Jason said that the appeal was like upheld, because I squealed a little, because I read all of that in a couple of articles in the Athletic in the last week, and I was like, when I read it, I was like, no, they're dead in the water, they're getting relegated, there's no way back from this. So I mean, it just, we might as well talk about this in the same breath as the Club World Cup. It just shows you how like irrationally corrupt football is as a global sport at the moment. Clearly someone's money laundering at its best, says Mowbray, who I'm wondering if it's my next door neighbor actually, now that I look at the spelling. So I'm absolutely flabbergasted, guys, that there's no way, from the allegations that I saw, there's no way that they should have not seen as harsh a punishment as possible, which again begs the question, what's happening with the 115, right? So if something
absolutely
like that
nothing
overlooked in France, then 115 or 130 or whatever the hell it is probably going to get the same treatment.
Go down to 0.
In points deduction.
No, they'll split that 115 in and amongst Everton. Brentford will get something. Villa's gonna get something. Forest, definitely. Newcastle's gonna sell somebody. They're gonna make it somehow, and then just a little slap on the wrist, man. It's a kind of scary way that football is heading. I mean, besides the multinational ownership things that we're seeing very common, Chelsea, Strasbourg, what is it, Crystal Palace. I mean, the whole Leipzig program as well is a bit, it's a bit touch and go, isn't it? It just talks to the way football is heading, and I don't think we'll see the end of this. I think we'll see a lot more that's going to happen in this nature, where there's an owner who owns 2 clubs and he's going to funnel this, and it's going to come out, and it's kind of upsetting because the game that we know and love is gone. It's going to be gone if it's not already. I think it's one to keep an eye out for. Let's see what happens officially from this, and then also what sort of ramifications it has for the other clubs that are dealing with similar type deals. I think Crystal Palace is also in a situation, right? Yeah, they're also in a. But anyway, that's a completely different story. So over the Club World Cup, as Nikita said, it's a bit of it's been an up and down tournament. I'm not going to say that the football's been the worst. They've served up quite a few games. Yeah, they've served up quite a few games, which is a surprise because it's a postseason tournament. These guys have played almost 50 games in the regular season, and now they're doing this, and then 2 weeks off and they start preseason again. AF, did you catch last night's game? Chelsea against Fluminense? And do you have any...
I caught the highlights. I didn't. Okay. I was never going to watch that game. I dedicate my time to the big ones like PSG, Bayern Munich, on Saturday. That was
that
some
was
good
an
stuff.
exciting one.
Unlucky for Musiala though, but yeah, like I caught the highlights from last night, and yeah, I think like Fluminense had some good moments, but I think the way Chelsea have recruited in this transfer window so far is they're going to be a force to be reckoned with next season. I think João Pedro is the perfect fit for this team, and he said it, he did it all last night.
The most obvious 6.5 FPL signing, and then not going to play in the first 3 game weeks. One of those has a banging preseason, does everything right, and then they start Liam Delap for the first 3 games. Yeah,
Christopher Nkunku 2 years ago, 100%.
Yeah, everybody's template team has João Pedro, and then he starts on the bench. Nikita, have you been watching any of the games, or just catching highlights, catching any headlines?
I'm really only, like I said, trying to detox from football for a month, as far as possible. But I have caught the highlights. I mean, 2 belters from João Pedro Rossard as well. I mean, absolute bangers. But yeah, I think again to your point, a perfect Chelsea signing. He's also like has a screw loose, very obviously, isn't he? Didn't he fight with someone in the Brighton change room also, like just at the end of the season? Got a straight red. I mean, just absolutely tweaked. You got to love to see it. Maybe he's Diego Costa 2.0. But either way, I really like to see like Chelsea play fluid football again. I think it's very healthy for the league. And I also like Chelsea getting to 2 finals, selling their club, or before Arteta can win a league or any decent trophy. So it's quite nice to see Chelsea, rubbing it into their North London counterparts. Much appreciated, Chelsea. Keep going. I hope you win it.
I think Nikita and Riyadh have a thing where they're also closeted fans, So now we found
what is happening here? I'm confused.
Stan, I don't know how much Jody's paying you, but this is suspicious. Very suspicious. Yeah, no, I think last night's game, and I'm not going to claim to have watched that, but watching the highlights, it looks really good. It looks like a good signing, and the problem you have again is, when are they all going to play? I think Maresca was complaining about playing a 63 game season, and then I think the journalist said, "Yeah, but Fluminense played 70 games."
Yeah,
and then like they quiet, but yeah, but also in the 63 game season, for one comp for a start of it, he had a different squad to what he was playing in the Prem. So the age old story, and we'll get to it when we do a preseason preview and they've got too many players. What is happening? They're still going to be signing a few more. They've signed Jamie Gittins. Yeah.
And they got fined. They got like a 60 million pound fine, which is more than what they paid for João Pedro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I think they're also banking on winning it, right? So it's like if they win this tournament, they're making so much money, and then it's just going to... It's like
which is the problem, that the fines are not enough. Clearly, evidently, the fines and the points deductions are not enough, guys.
Yeah.
No, but it
looks good from a Chelsea perspective. I suppose they've got some new signings, and they look to be doing good. I have to agree with Mohamed Bray. I think PSG will be too strong, but they first need to overcome Real Madrid. So, AF, give me a few thoughts about this evening's game. I mean, Real Madrid have been a bit up and down, isn't it? So what are we expecting from this evening's game from the most informed team in Europe?
Just before we get to that, I just want to say one last thing about Chelsea. They're going to finish this tournament. They're in the final, so they played the entire duration of the tournament. They have, I think, about 6 or 7 days off, and then their preseason starts. Their players are going to be absolutely knackered by the time the season starts, and maybe that's why they're buying a gazillion players, so that they can have a different starting 11 every week in, week out. So starting 11 players, rest the starting 11, start the next one. So that's my theory over there.
Anyways, okay, let's see it happen then.
Yeah. But yeah, like tonight's game, like it's going to be amazing. I think Madrid has a lot of holes in their side at the moment, and Dortmund proved that in the last 5 minutes over the weekend. Madrid thought that they were home and dry, and then they just let their guard down. Dortmund capitalized. Courtois literally saved them with the last kick of the game.
Yeah.
I think it was
Sabitzer.
Brand. Was it Sabitzer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sabitzer. And I mean,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
absolutely worthy of a save to keep it to keep Real Madrid's lead. And then they also got Hausen suspended now for the semi-final as well. He got a red card in like the 93rd minute, so they almost capitulated in those last few minutes. And I think that's something that PSG is going to try and take hold of easily.
Nah, for sure. I'm particularly looking forward to the Kvaratskhelia against Trent Alexander-Arnold battle. That's going to be a nice, exciting one.
I
He's
can't wait.
doing so well going forward. But
I think we must all pray for you. Just
yeah,
pray.
I
Just keep
think.
praying. Keep
Yeah,
praying
let's
for
see.
We have Nikita on our side. Amazing. We have won.
I don't have.
Hating on
You know how much lighter I feel, guys, not having to defend that guy. Shocking defending week in, week out, guys.
Yeah. Okay, no. Clip
Where's
it.
Riaz?
Let's save it. Let's clip it and let's save it. Nah,
Amazing.
yeah. So if we're saying that, I think Kylian Mbappe is back as well. Nikita, do you think PSG is going to win it all? Do you think they beat Madrid
Yeah,
and
no.
then knock
All the way to
out?
Dembele will win Ballon d'Or, and we can just move on with our lives. Like I will spend the next 10 years consoling Mo Salah for never winning Ballon d'Or. But I mean,
Sure.
come on, you kind of can't. You can't take it from Dembele this year. I think PSG have done an amazing job. But yeah, the one thing that I did think was quite interesting, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Xabi Alonso has requested that Real Madrid's first league fixture get pushed later. And they're only kicking off on the 19th of August. So, yeah, again, it just kind of shows you the power that that club has. Very, 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 very interesting.
No, that's fair. Quickly before we, hey, if you're gonna jump to some comp, Liverpool is in against the legend. Obviously, Sammy Hoopia that he's talking about.
It must be. Igor Bishkan, maybe. So that's what they're talking about.
PSG currently playing. Yeah, I'd have to agree before we just get to Ramiz's question. I think PSG have played at such a level, such a consistent level since the turn of the year. Jan to May, they turned up when it really mattered because I think they were some shaky ground. Fuller might have ran them, or somebody ran them a bit close in the group stages and they made it through, and then they had to overcome quite a few people. So, yeah, it's been. Yeah. Beat you guys, beat us. They obviously dismantled Inter in the final. And then they've played
on the log in the Champions League in the group stage. I think
Who's
PSG, I think they just about like qualified.
Yeah, they just made it. Yeah. Which
but
again goes back to my, I think
Wasn't
my
it
beginning of the season comment, right? Which is like, why do we try and top this league? It's so stupid. Every club should just try to just qualify. So dumb. Just leave the top 8 spots to Arsenal and whoever else is in the Premier League. The rest of us are just gonna take it easy.
You obviously weigh it up, and obviously it should have ended better for us. Now you're making me feel sad again. It should have ended better, but I mean, you weigh it up like, okay, if you top the group, then you don't play the extra game, but not playing the extra game meant that Liverpool still got PSG. So it's like PSG played against Stade Brest, who they beat like 10-0 on aggregate. So it was like, that was a joke. It wasn't even a real game. So
Chelsea's second team could have played that game and gone through. So I mean, really, it was.
Stade Brest probably does have Chelsea's second team, or is that Strasbourg? Strasbourg has all the Chelsea players. That's the.
Wasn't it? Who was that? Vitesse used to be the feeder team back in the day.
Oh yeah,
the Austrian team. Yeah.
Nah, who was that guy? Marco van Ginkel. He used to go to Vitesse.
Yeah.
And he came to London for holidays.
What a resume! What a resume!
Yeah.
Okay, quickly. Let's just Nikita's gone. Dembele surely. Ramiz has also will be the superior player of the tournament. AF, do you have a shout for this? Because I genuinely don't, eh?
I can't say Dembele because he only started like playing properly towards the end of the tournament, and he'd like come off the bench for like 20 minutes or so.
Like in the Champions League.
So
And
I
yet he's
think
going to win
I
the
think it
Ballon
would
d'Or.
be yeah. But like he's winning the Ballon d'Or because of everything else he's done this season. But like for this tournament specifically, I think Hakimi. I think he's been the best player for PSG, and he's the reason why they are doing so well. I mean, first like you'll see the guy at like right back, then like 10 seconds later you'll see him as like a striker. Like I didn't even get there.
On the penalty spot, hitting a ball.
Yeah.
Okay, no, look, it's gonna have to be someone from the PSG, and we're saying it so like officially that they're gonna make the final. Who knows which Real Madrid turns up? But yeah, I'm gonna go from somebody from PSG. If they are gonna make the final, I'm gonna go with like I think it would be nice to see a midfielder. I think João Neves has done really well. He's been really controlling things for them in the games that I've watched. He's probably not going to win it, and I'm trying to think who's the frontline players that they have. It is Desiree Doué has been okay, but yeah, I'd actually go with somebody from the midfield, to be honest. Maybe even Fabian Ruiz, who's done, and he's also chipped in with a few goals as well. So that's my suggestion. But yeah, let's leave that club world chat. The semi-final is this evening. Let us know what your predictions are for that game in the chat. We can revisit at the end, but we're going to jump into the transfers now. It's obviously a very silly season for us. So let's just talk about a few things that could happen. That's potentially been rumored to be happening. So the first one, AF, you must just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up now. You can talk now.
No. So interest. I will start with this one just because I think I need him. I think I need him as probably instead of we're looking at all these pieces that need to be fitted in, but I think Arsenal have shown more intent than they have in the last few seasons. Also, we haven't been linked with many defenders. So I'm not sure what to make of that. I think we have to sign our customary left back who can play right across the back line, who's going to get injured in the first game. But yeah, having confirmed Zubomendi, we've now confirmed Kepa as a backup. And possibly
Norgard as well.
Norgard coming in as well. So we seem to be doing all the buffering, which is what we struggled with last season. But if we do this, and if we do confirm Gyökeres, then I don't think there's much leg that we can stand on. We now have to go for everything. So I'm hoping that it does come. I think Eze will provide excellent cover in a number of positions. And he also adds a bit of X factor, which we had lacked in those decisive moments where we needed to turn the game on our head. I think he has that, and he's shown it both in the FA Cup final, but also throughout the season. Any thoughts on this one here? I know that there's some talk about Madueke. I'd much rather put all my eggs in this basket.
I love how all Arsenal fans are just being like trying to talk Madueke not into existence. Like just be like, no.
It's 100% happening. Yeah, it's 100% happening.
I think Madueke is closer than Eze, because I saw Ornstein gave an update on the Madueke thing today at about like 4 p.m. this afternoon. There was like clubs on
Chelsea region.
Yeah, every season it has to be done.
Our scout settings, man, and it's only at Chelsea. I don't understand it. There's so many other players, but also for the figure that we rumored to be going after Madueke, I think we must stop helping Chelsea out. They must get fined properly, man. Guys, let's stop talking about my eggs, please. Jeez. Any thoughts on this one? I mean, obviously, amazing player, add value to any teams. Is there any merit if this does come off?
Do you think he's going to want to go to a team and be starting every game? Because I think he might want to do that, and I don't think that happens if he goes to Arsenal. 27.
Yeah,
is it 27? Jeez, I thought he was like 26.
Lise was the he was the older one.
No, fair play.
So he goes there, like Odegaard is captain, so he obviously won't replace Odegaard in that starting lineup. You guys signed Zubomendi now, so he's definitely starting. You have Declan Rice there. he's
Mm.
not going to be benched. So, are you going to take one of the wingers out and then have Eze play wide instead?
It's not a position he's unfamiliar with. So I think he probably would go on that left wing, and he adds a bit of a different dimension to that side. But then it completely kills all the other potential signings and all of these things. Like I say, it's a very silly season. We linked with everybody. I remember at the time we were linked with, too many players. I'm still waiting to sign Jan and Via from Stade Rennais, that midfielder from France. Like, every season, without fail, he was supposed to come to Arsenal and be the Patrick Vieira replacement. I think it's one to keep an eye on for. Being an Arsenal junior, he was in the academy. It's got a feel-good story, but obviously those things don't work out normally as the feel-good stories work. So, yeah, it's okay. Let's leave Eze for now. AF, give me who's next in line here. I think you're going to lead us in this one because I've never heard of Xavi Guerra. Talk to me.
So, this player is using United, or his agent is using United, obviously, to get some interest in him. Valencia wants him to sign a new contract. Doesn't seem like his agent wants him to stay at Valencia. So now he's shopping this guy around. I saw Milan is also sort of interested. But the guy who reported this news is the same guy who verbatim said that who's the Asian defender from Bayern? Kim Min Jae. Yeah. So he said a year ago, or 2 years ago, Kim Min Jae is very close to joining Man United, and then he joined Bayern like a few days later. So, I mean, United is that team, guys. Like, if they want to shop a player around, just link them with United, and something will happen. What
about this kid is making you excited? Yeah, have you watched any of it?
So I'm not going to claim to say that I've watched Valencia or anything, but I've seen. I've actually watched 2 episodes on YouTube yesterday of people that actually just explored his skill set and what he actually brings to the Valencia team, and they've likened him to Zubimendi, but he's just taller. So he has at ball control. He can play a 6. He can play a 8. He's apparently a workhorse of note, so he doesn't stop running. But his height is apparently one of his most dangerous things. Height in the box, heading, all of those things. I think that's the thing that whoever gets him will probably look forward to the most. Just his defensive ability.
Look, if you were to line him up against all of your central midfielders, he's already displacing Kobe Mino, right? So that's a small guy out, done. So that's one guy that you want to compete with. Bruno basically centre back most of the season last season, so there's a spot in the midfield open there for him. And if it is a holding midfielder that I think Man United sorely missed, then get somebody who's just gonna run all day, who can just be. I mean, it's not like you had McTominay that was doing that, right? Or am I not watching the same United team here? But
no comment.
Let's also keep an eye out on that. I think specifically this next transfer we're going to talk about has a bit of an implication on Liverpool, and I just want to gauge what the thoughts are here. So, Callum Wilson rumored to be leaving Newcastle, actually might be confirmed. A host of clubs that are in for him: Everton, Man United, Leeds. Nikita, I'm going to jump to you now because for all last season and even the start of the summer, Liverpool's been linked with Alexander Isak. Do you see a future where Newcastle lose both Wilson and Isak?
What do you mean by lose Wilson? The guy's always injured.
No. He's gone already.
And
he's gone already.
Okay, so he's gone now. So do you think Isak is still on his way with everything that was discussed, or is it another season where he just knuckles down? He's going to play Champions League at St. James, so it's...
If you'd asked me that a month ago, I would have said there's no way he leaves, right? Especially for that kind of money, and Liverpool don't spend that kind of money. And Liverpool are certainly not going to spend that kind of money when they just spent 100 million on Florian Wirtz already. But what I find so interesting is all the journalists, the Toon journalists, they don't say categorically he's not for sale. They say
Yeah.
it would take a massive amount,
Mm.
Premier League record breaking 150 plus to get him, which to me means that either he's indicated that he could be interested to leave. He's also a good
Yeah.
age, guys. He's not
Yeah.
like a spring chicken anymore. This is probably the one time he's going to be able to move to a top tier club. No disrespect to Newcastle, fabulous club,
Mm.
just not going to be winning Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues, in the next kind of 2 to 3 years. So I look personally, I don't think it's going to happen. I just think the money
Mm.
is exorbitant for what you get with the injury
Mm.
record. I don't think so, but I must say I wouldn't be surprised if another big club doesn't perhaps come in if they're willing to spend that kind of money.
Mm.
I don't think it'll be Arsenal, but maybe it's even like a Real Madrid type situation. Because I mean they sign players on free, £100 million players for free. So if they must have quite a bit of money saved up to potentially be able to afford a guy like this. I think
Mm.
more likely we will go for a Ikatike type of
Mm.
option.
Yeah.
Granted, the money that I've heard being asked for him is also ridiculous, but
Yeah.
I think the fact that we're looking at £150 million for Isak, £100 million for Ikatike, I don't know what you guys are playing for Gyökeres, just shows
Mm.
you how shocking the striker market is, eh?
Yeah.
And it also, I think, is indicative of how football has changed away from a real nine, and suddenly there's a pivot back to a real nine.
Yeah.
Now the market is dead because all the strikers that were playing in under 16s have become wingers, and now we don't have nines to go and canvas anymore. It's a really
Mm.
interesting scenario at the moment. But
And then
yeah,
and then
only a few clubs that can afford these type of players.
you have to think about the wages that these players are asking for as well. So the
Mm.
club is gonna pay 100 million for them, and then you get a Simeon that is asking for 450k a week.
It's just
So
madness, man.
you you're paying these like exorbitant prices, and then you still have to like look after the players' salaries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And all of
No.
that impacts your
Yeah.
PSR, and
Yeah.
I think for me, if anything, the important ratio that you look at on the financials of a club, of a football
Mm.
turnover to wages ratio. And I mean, it's quite scary for a lot of clubs. It's like
Yeah.
really insane because as much as a guy could be earning 200k a week with bonuses, that can be 350 a week. It's nauseating
Yeah.
actually when you say it out loud. But yeah, interesting transfer.
Mm.
I personally don't think it's going to happen, but
Nothing that
I
can
don't
happen
see how
before,
this
eh?
guy sticks around at Newcastle for another season. He shouldn't,
Mm.
frankly.
Yeah. Yeah, you've brought up some interesting points. There's not many teams that can afford this, but then also Ziad's comment about Newcastle loving it in terms of the PSR reasons, it could very well be that way. I mean, they've just spent 55 mil on Anthony Elanga. So that's definitely something that's going to contribute or it's going to weigh in their mind. But then they're also talking about possibly getting rid of like Harvey Barnes or something like that. So it might be that they want to keep the flagship striker and hope that he stays fit for a long Champions League run where they can basically recoup quite a bit of money. Um, but yeah, you also have to question, this guy is wanting to, and he obviously is not going to set his price, but he's
So
probably wanting to test himself in a bigger pool, maybe.
with with Callum Wilson leaving, that leaves Isak and who's that other kid, Osula. I think
Yeah,
they're the only
Mm.
strikers left then.
yeah,
That gives Newcastle a lot of work to do in the next like month and a half, and
yeah,
I don't think that they would probably want to do that. So I
Mm.
think
yeah,
maybe Isak stays for
yeah,
for another season.
yeah. Nah, fair play. One to watch, definitely. Hey, if hit me with the last one, because I see there's a comment
Mm.
that
Yeah.
Yasin seems to
So
have confirmed it
Yasin,
already. That is, here we go.
yeah. So at about 6 p.m. today, David Ornstein dropped that bomb. And yeah, essentially,
Goodness.
it's the medical is booked for Thursday, for tomorrow evening. And yeah, I think this is a really good signing.
Mm.
Hopefully, he
Mm.
stays fit because that's the one that sort of like hits him every season. The guy starts off well, then he gets injured for about a few weeks, and then he comes back, he tries getting back into his stride again. And yeah, like it's been the same thing for the last like 2 seasons. Really good player, really exciting player, but he just needs to get those niggles out of the way.
Nah, for sure. I mean, there's also very interesting that he signs for Spurs, especially with that game that West Ham played against Spurs last season, where he just went full Royal Rumble and he took out, I think it was Van der Ven, and then he took out Bentancur, and he just got a goal, got a red, or I think he got an assist, got a red card, got a suspension. And I was like, all in a day's work. It was a great shift, and I thought this guy should sign for Arsenal because he's got all of the markings already. Getting a red card, getting a assist, fighting the Spurs players. But now he's going to join up. So that first training session with Mickey van der Ven, I think it's going to be a very spicy one. But Spurs seem to be making a decent way forward with the signing under Thomas Frank. Let's see how he's able to take it over. I'm hearing rumors or so that Ange might be going to Brentford. I don't know if there's any legitimacy to that, but that's like that would be a crazy little thing. But that's also
I saw like clubs in the MLS is like circling Ange, so maybe
that's
you
how
might
all of the MLS teams play like that. No defense, play on the halfway line, and then let's see what's going to happen. So you'll fit right in. Next thing is you're going to be managing USA.
Also, the MLS teams have those stupid names like that, like the club he managed in Australia. Like, what is it?
Sounders he's
what
got
was that called? Like Melbourne Victory. That sounds like a stupid MLS team name. Anyway, so
like a small town in Nashville. Welcome to Melbourne Victory, Nashville.
Exactly. It sounds like that club that's playing the Cobble Cup, the Auckland, whatever, Rovers or whatever, something stupid like that. He also managed a club called Whittlesea Zebras. So, I mean,
that has to be like a community club, and his kid had to be playing for the team. There's no way. There's no other way somebody can continue.
That's actually where the Always Win in my second season started.
At Whittlesea Zebras, and then at Brisbane Roar. Guys, his Wikipedia is a bit of a crap, I must say. It's quite entertaining. All the best to Ange, though. Great guy. Great guy. What a guy.
Shout out Ange. Rami's elite reference. I'll leave it at that. So we'll end the transfer segment with those guys. Let us know if there's anything that you've noticed, that you've picked up. Also, don't believe every report. I once believed we were going to sign Lionel Messi. But that was just me being naive and believing in Arsene Wenger. We're going to jump into the last section now. And before we get started with our picks, I just want to put it out there so that the chat can start to, maybe put something together. So we've basically done create a player with certain characteristics. You might have seen it online. We've decided to do our own version of it. We've got about, I think it's maybe about 8 categories that we're basically basing it on. So we're wanting to pick a player, and the attribute is from a specific player that you like. So we got left foot ability, right foot ability, football IQ, shooting ability, passing ability, skills, dribbles, all of those things, pace, and then to round it all off, we're going to say free kick ability. Okay, so my left leg and my hamstring is out of it, please. It's been gone. If you've ever made ribs and you've fried it properly, or you leave it on too long and the meat just falls off the bone, if you to lift my hamstring up, it would probably be the same. So any sales on hamstrings, let me know.
Great visual.
100%, bro. So I'm not sure in terms of the format of how we are going to give it, but I reckon we could go maybe, because we've got 8, we can go 2 by 2 basically. So we're going to go left foot, right foot first. And then we're going to go football IQ, shooting ability, then passing ability and skills, and then pace and free kick. Okay, that's just how it is set up on my page. Nikita, as you are...
Are we... Sorry, are we going to go like snake draft order? So like if one of us picks somebody, then we can't... Then that's off the table for the others, or...
I don't know if we can do that now because it's not a live draft. So we've obviously
Yeah.
prepped some stuff. You've got a few players. That's what I'm hearing. You have a few players under each
Of
category. So you
course.
have a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was
Because I assumed that's going to be
Yeah.
a draft.
no. Sorry. So I didn't specify it
No.
in the prep.
Okay.
But if you want to give us different versions of it, maybe at the end we
Mhm.
go through your other list. But yeah, let's start with Nikita. Let's go left foot and right foot for you.
I mean, I think left foot is a bit of an obvious one, right? Messi for sure for me. I mean, just have never seen a better left foot. I mean, it's basically came out with a left foot with a football attached to it, right? Just doesn't leave his foot. Just incredible. Right foot, I've gone with Zidane.
Ooh,
I don't think.
okay.
Oh, I don't think I've seen a better right foot capability, just like his ability to execute all sorts of different things that your mind can't even like fathom. My favorite. So that's me on left and right foot.
Okay.
What do
Left
you
and right.
guys
So
have?
we've got Messi and we've got Zidane. I'm gonna try and make a note here of this. Let's see how it goes. So we've got Messi and Zidane. AF, what do you have, my friend?
So left foot, I think somebody said it in the chat, Roberto Carlos. Like,
Okay.
Ah,
no denying that left foot over there. And then right foot, I have David Beckham.
David Beck's the teammates.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. So for me, I mean, look, standard practice Messi. I think what he's done with his left foot, he would never be able to do with his right, and that's fine. I genuinely don't care. I've got Messi, and then for right foot, and it might be a bit of a shock here, but I've gone KDB. Because I think he's got a bit of a wand of a left foot. There were so many good right footers. So I thought very solely on this last few seasons that he's had in the Prem. That would be mine. So what we will do, if it's not going to be a snake where we're going to choose, if you finish off, you then give the next set. Okay.
cool.
So I'll then
Go for it.
jump into football IQ and shooting ability. So for football IQ, I've got the Iceman Dennis Bergkamp. Famously quoted by Thierry Henry as being the best player he's ever played with, and he's played with Messi, so I'm going to go with that. And then for shooting ability, I'm going for the Swede. No, not Alexander Isak. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I'm going Zlatan for shooting ability.
Great
If you have 15 to 20 minutes, just go watch that guy's goal. I'm talking some crazy stuff. But yeah, AF, hit me with football IQ and shooting ability.
So football IQ, this is a deep cut. I'm going for Matt Letizia.
Ooh.
What a guy! What a brain!
It's just his.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
everything else about his IQ. So
Yeah.
all his IQ into football because the
Yeah.
rest of him is a
Yeah.
fucking moron. So okay, great.
Yeah.
I think that's a top shout.
No, that dude's thinking was amazing. Like, he used to be on like 4D chess with everything.
Yeah.
And then shooting.
Good shout.
I wanted to choose Carlos again, but I couldn't.
Ah,
So I'm going for Harry Kane for shooting.
Wild
odd
card.
choice. Why?
Okay.
Why?
Yeah.
Can we get some supporting evidence?
Yeah, please, man, talk to us here. Are you also
No,
a closeted fan?
if you look at everybody that's played with Harry Kane, there's so many people that come out and say that like he's one of the best shooters that they've seen, and his conversion rate is crazy. I mean, there's no denying his lethal skills in front of goal. So yeah.
Fair.
Okay, fair play. Okay, Nikita, IQ and shooting ability.
I had Perlo for IQ. I just thought like
Okay.
that guy was just one of the
that's
most intelligent midfielders I've ever seen. And again, obviously coupled with the ability, but IQ specifically. And then I actually went with Roberto Carlos for shooting ability. I just thought like
Ooh, okay.
that guy, you don't want to be in front of a ball or behind the ball when that guy strikes. I just think and it was always so clean. Short back lift, high back lift, any scenario. Just
Nah,
top notch.
crazy.
Crazy
Okay, this is 100% your neighbor for sure. Because I don't know. He had said
Sorry, Mo.
So low
Sorry.
football IQ. Yeah, yeah. Maybe you must go talk to him about the dividing
Aligned.
wall
At
there.
least we're aligned.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so now we're gonna
No, we
jump to
must give
passing
him Bri
ability.
over the dividing wall, man.
Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna go passing ability
Passing ability.
and dribbling slash skills. So
Okay, so
dribbling
passing
ability.
ability, I had. So passing ability, I had Chevy. Just
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
was for me, it was a tight one between Chevy and Iniesta, and then the person I had third was Chevy Alonso. But I went with Chevy in the end. I just like incredible, just so small, such a low center of gravity. Found
yeah,
passes again. I mean, I think the three of them, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets,
yeah,
the three of them, the way they used to pass in that midfield was just like I don't know if it's something we'll ever see in football
Yeah.
again, but just incredible.
yeah.
And then for dribbling and skills, again, probably a very boring pick, but I went with Ronaldinho. I just think probably the most entertaining footballer I've ever watched in my life. So, Ronaldinho, I'll be honest with you, my second pick would have been Adel Tarabt. I just thought that guy
Oh yeah.
was mal.
The three don't
And he
forget.
was like, and he
Yeah.
looked like he just had 3 pies before he came into the field. So just top quality. Top quality.
I don't know if you know this, but that's the mark of a good player. If you can eat 3 pies before game and then still make somebody, that's somebody that I want in my team. I actually had him as an honorable mention as well. So that's so
Excellent.
we are actually aligned in that regard. Okay, AF, give me passing ability and then your dribbling or skills ability.
So yeah, I'm just trying to be as different as possible from you guys. So my passing is Mesut Ozil. What a guy! What a passer of the ball!
Okay.
What an assister!
Mm.
Yo,
Yeah.
Nikita hates that pick.
Correct. Correct.
See,
Requires improvement.
okay, so
And then for
there.
dribbling, I have El Phenomeno R9
Or
with the
nine.
skip overs of note.
Take it back
That
to
was
the
because
day.
he was aerodynamic with that haircut, bro. That's
Yeah.
why. He just
Yeah.
had that front piece of hair, and it's made him
Yeah.
weave through all the players. Excellent pick, yeah.
Sorry, this is just a comment, right? So what about Simpiwe Shabalala? I'm gonna tell you now, that man's goal that he scored in the World Cup, one of the best I've seen.
My favorite goal of all time.
If you grew up watching PSL like I did, you would have seen that after the World Cup, for the next season, he tried that same shot every game, or every second game at least. And you could ask him to do it 100 times over, he'll never be able to hit that one that he hit against Mexico in the opening game.
Hundreds.
So yeah, honorable mention, but we can't put somebody in here because they scored one liquor goal with their left foot. We need consistency. Okay, so for passing ability,
R9 with a life.
yeah, proper. Okay, so for passing ability, I went Stevie G actually. Probably my favorite in that period, the non-favorite or one of my favorite players for Liverpool. Not that I like many of them, but yeah, Stevie G. And then for dribbling, I went Neymar, guys. People do not rate Neymar's dribbling ability, but he used to embarrass people. And I think that's what you want from a left wing. I think similar to he really hold his own for the physical, and he was going to get kicked every game. And his interview was like, okay, no, then I'm going to embarrass you. And I like that because he backed up his chat. So, yeah.
I thought you were going to pick Anthony, bruh. Like for the fidget spinner.
Nah.
Honorable mention.
I was actually surprised that you had it. Okay, then I'll end it off. So I'll go with pace, right? And this is the Arsenal in me. A young Thierry Henry, I think, would give guys a run for their money, and I think people don't understand how quick he was. I remember him being called offside from his own half, but that was at Old Trafford, so I kind of expected that. And then for free kicks, I've gone with the Brazilian with the longest surname. You know, normally Brazilians don't have surnames.
Amazing.
Juninho Pernambucano.
Yeah.
For free
Yeah.
kick. Any place on the field, he could do it. So, yeah. I think that is my guy. AF, give me pace and give me free kick.
Yeah, so for pace, I have Kyle Walker because there's no looking past that. Like that guy,
I genuinely feel that he
you
only
will
has
give him a
pace. No, he's got no brains.
no. That's
Yo.
Theo Walcott. That was Theo Walcott. Kyle Walker still had a bit of a brain.
No ways.
Right, Phillips also had no brain, guys.
Kyle Walker, speed for brains.
Yeah, and then for free kicks, I would say Juninho, but
all three of us had
the same.
Juninho. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so nice. At least we agreed on
But I'm
one.
going to change
Okay,
it.
no,
I'm
there's
going to change
obviously
it.
other ones, but let's go wild pick
Yeah.
after this. Okay, Nikita, give us your pace and then free kick.
Yeah.
So my pace is a bit of a left field, but he legitimately is the fastest person I've ever seen, I think, on a football field, which is Mahmoud Trezeguet. I don't know if you guys remember him. He played for Villa. I've
Yeah.
never seen a
But
player
which game
faster than
are
him.
you referencing? Is it in the AFCON or was it in Prem where he actually put on
No,
the
in the Prem. In the Prem.
Ah,
In the Prem.
okay.
He was just
That is
like, I've never
definitely-
seen an oblique than that. So maybe go back. I don't know if there are compilations of him. I'm sure there are. I think he's still playing properly. But yeah, I've never seen a guy quicker than that. And then, like I said, I had Juninho at least. Not Juninho. I don't know who
Not
it is.
Jorginho.
Some guy just. But yeah, never seen a better free kick taker in my whole life.
Okay.
I mean, so it's 0-7. Guys,
Yeah.
0-7 is the whole package. You know, he's conscientious.
Yeah,
He's already
okay
the
in all of
dream
it, but
player.
he's not the best.
Yeah. He is, to be fair, he is the dream player. He can do it all, right? Left foot, right foot, header, free. Well, he used to be able to take free kicks, penalties. What else did we say? Pace. He's the all-round perfection. Let's be honest.
He also used to do oversteps back in the day when he wasn't
in the Prem.
cut back.
Yeah.
We have Muzaffar saying Pace James. So is this Dan James or is this Reece James?
What Reece James?
Reece James will try to use high pace and then he'll get injured. So
the fastest he's run is from the field to the table. Okay, now that's why we're asking people to give their opinions, and that is an opinion. And I think we've angered Mohammed Bray. So thanks for watching the one episode that you'll watch of us. We'll see you again when we do this.
He's a regular in the chat, bro. He's a regular over here.
I've never seen him comment this much and this much. He's so upset, which is great. Keep commenting. Honorable mentions for any of the categories that you want to just throw out there for the people. AF, I'm going to start with you because you've got, like Chelsea, 3 different squads.
100%. Yeah, so like for dribbling, I think people probably might disagree with this, but I think Eden Hazard at Chelsea was on another level as a dribbler. Like that guy was different gravy.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely an honorable mention there. And then for free kicks, I think people overlook how good Luis Figo was on free kicks as well.
Thiago Jota was better, guys. The song says so.
That's true. The song does say so.
The song says so. It's true. Yeah. Jason, my honorable mention is on shooting. Is Daniel Sturridge. That guy had the lowest backlift I've ever seen. I swear he could score with his foot in a vice. Honestly, really talented again. Very similar, I think, to hopefully not Isak, etc. with injuries, but he had a great shot on him.
No, that's fair play.
I only once saw him score a header, and it came off his shoulder. So he could only do it with his feet.
What about for shooting the man they called Batistuta? Guys to break hands and fingers.
Yeah, bro, you used to.
Yeah, bro, literally.
I saw one of the comments that were talking about shooting ability. I also had Adriano, who also used to
Oof.
ripple the net.
Oh,
He had something
Yeah,
about him. Additionally, somebody else that I flirted with was Francesco Totti. You ever watch his goal compilation? He had a whole
Baltus.
array of shooting abilities.
Yeah.
Like it was trips. It was.
Mm.
I specifically remember the cross that comes over and he's outside the box on the left hand side and he volleys it to the far post. I'm like, okay, nah, cheers. And I mean, a few years from now, we'll look back at Olivier Giroud's comps and say this guy was a killer because he also scored a few good goals. But for my free kick wild card, I was actually talking with a lady today, James Ward-Prowse. In terms of like consistently banging it, I think James Ward-Prowse is on the wall. He's not obviously spoken about very highly because the overall play isn't, putting him up
Right.
there. But I think if it's a dead ball, you're almost fearing it. And
Yeah. Okay. That's a great
so
shout,
that's
Jason. Yeah.
yeah. So Mohamed Bray talking about Hulk. Yeah, that guy would
Yeah.
he would break a net. There's so many options, and that's why it's so nice to get the interaction because it's nice to see who we've maybe forgotten. I mean, how do we forget CR7? My goodness.
We didn't forget he was honorable overall.
Yeah. Honorable full player, Cristiano
Yes.
Ronaldo. If it was a heading ability, I would have probably gone Peter Crouch. But Ronaldo would have been an honorable mention.
No,
So,
that's for dancing. Dancing. If you had a dancing category,
His
Peter Crouch.
celebration. Yeah.
nah,
I honestly would have, if we had a heading category, I honestly would have gone for Ronaldo. Just the kind of leverage and how high and how he used to hang.
Yeah.
You know, people who
Yeah.
watch basketball, who's not me, they talk about how players hang, get airtime or hang time.
yeah.
He has
That
that.
vertical
He's
leap that he had, eh? I remember
incredible.
the first goal he scored against, or not the first goal, maybe it was one of the second goals that he scored against United when he just moved to Madrid. That header that he scored, and Evra is basically like here, and his legs are above everything. Now, it's not a very big yardstick to measure against, right? But I mean, he's still jumping above somebody's head, and Evra wasn't like small. And then the second one,
Everett 5'7", so yeah, that's like what 172.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere around there. So yeah, to get your legs in line with his head is crazy. But then also that goal he scored against Sampdoria, where he was at Juve, he basically rose above that guy, and that guy looked like a lot bigger than. Honorable mentions for celebrations. Robbie Fowler, perhaps.
I think that's a good one. That's a good one, especially the sniffing the grass one.
Maybe Luis Suarez against Everton. Perhaps
that was a one-off. That was a one-off. I think now everyone. I think for this season.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Everybody is already doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also honorable mention, Simpiwe Shabalala, 2010 World Cup.
Guys, that dance.
And people have tried to I think I even did that in like one of my arts and culture things. You know, I just did a dance and I just did a celebration. Guys, it got me a passing mark, but I think that teacher was just very patriotic. So
does anybody have the video? Where's the clip? Release it.
Nobody had phones. Please just calm down. Yeah, so that wraps up. Nah. Done. Finito. That wraps up our create a play segment. I'm not going to show us Ramiz, much like when I think Asfar asked me to sing. I'm not going to do that. You must just take my word. Just believe me. Source, trust me, bro. Yeah. So that wraps up episode 125. Thank you for all the comments, all the honorable mentions. Mohamed Bray, hopefully we see you here next week. We'll have a guest on as well next week. Maybe there will be some love or some hate for that. I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, I'd like to thank AF and Nikita. Nikita, where can the people find you? What are we commenting on? What are we speaking about in the off season?
Yes, please find me on X, or formerly known as Twitter, at Kita3_K. Please engage with me on all things sports, but I'm particularly interested in the tennis at the moment. Cricket is actually my favorite, but if you really want to belabor me and speak about football, I'm happy to engage you too and tell you how shit your club is or good your club is. Please come find me.
Nikita's going all in on Ben Shelton for the men's Wimbledon. So, yeah.
He's out, actually. He just got beaten in straight sets.
Amazing.
I don't know how much
what I
he
wanted
goes
to hear.
out with, but yeah.
His sister can go back to work now.
Alcaraz has to wrap it up, probably, isn't it?
Alcaraz, you think so? It could be Sinner, I think. Could be Sinner and
I
Grass.
think I was very clear that I don't know much about tennis, so I'm just going with the popular guy. I will definitely try and tune in. But yeah, AF, talk to us. What's interesting in the off-season?
Parker 642. Everywhere, like I'm talking about everything, sports and pop culture. So yeah, come chat. Superman's releasing tomorrow, guys. So I'm probably going to be talking about that a lot, and I can't wait.
Me too.
All good. At Jason_Ronnie. I'm just retweeting all of the rumors, guys. I'm fully locked in for silly season, I'm going to be very honest with you. But yeah, we are at Sportycast. We've got, if I'm not watching football, I'm watching golf. So I do tweet a bit about golf now. I'm a horrible golfer, but a good golf watcher. So I've got that going for me. At Sportycast on all the major platforms, we appreciate the love. We appreciate the support, all the comments. We understand that you have busy lives, so the fact that you tune in with us on a Wednesday night means the world to us. We'll be putting out a bit more content and then obviously prepping for the new season and whatever that brings. So all the signings, all of those things, let us know in the comments if you'd like us to cover anything particularly. And yeah, if there's any suggestions for other segments, yeah, we would love to take it on. And Mohammed Bray, I'll catch you in the chat next week again, okay? Peace.